everyone. Welcome back to Ghosting with Anya. I'm your host, Anya Smith, also the author of Anya's Ghost Stories Volume 1 and Volume 2, The Return of the Dead, and my co-host here, my husband, Chris, as well. Instead of me going live on like 8 o'clock sharp, I decided to do the 30 minutes after 8 to come on live streaming. So, well, today is Father's Day. So, if there are any fathers out there, I just want to wish you all a happy Father's Day, including to my stepfathers. Well, to my biological dad, Namig, and to my stepdad, Sergey M. Also, I also would like to wish a happy Father's Day to my father-in-law, Stephen Dady. So, my husband's father. If you're ever watching this, happy Father's Day. So, anyway, it is Father's Day today. Is June 21st. So, we have a new story for you guys tonight. It's called The Girl in the Production Booth. It's something to do maybe with the spirit and production, that sort of thing. Maybe it has weird problems, maybe. But we'll have to find out who this young girl is. We'll have to find out what really happened to her, how she died, and how is she trapped inside the parallel universe, maybe like a spirit world. Perhaps how she got trapped inside the projection booth. Kind of like when you go to a movie theater and you get your movies projected from that booth, like from behind you. There is a projection booth where a projectionist guy puts the movie on. So this is how we get our movies. And there is a lobby that you get your tickets, and then you go to the desk that has food and drinks, and then there's the auditorium, and the projection booth is like right somewhere behind us, if you guys know what I mean. So I'm going to the movies on the 26th of this month, so that would be 5 days away, so which is on a Friday. I'm burning my blanket, so I'm still working on my other blanket. I'm just taking a little break because I'm knitting maybe another sweater this time, maybe, or whatever I'm working on. It's just gonna take me a while. So this story is almost kind of related to the movie theaters, but it's the projection booth. It's something to do with a young woman being trapped inside and suffocating from something and dying and being trapped. That sort of thing. I don't know. We'll find out as soon as we are going to read the story. Sorry guys, I'm thirsty. And I gotta keep myself hydrated by drinking this. So I have to keep this with me at all times. I have to keep this next to me in case I get thirsty in the middle of the night. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this podcast, and being a part of it. You guys are always welcome to join me on live stream. Also, if you have any opinions, all you have to do is leave me comments down below. So the reason why my hair is a bit wet because I took a cleaning part. I was getting myself cleaned. I was just soaking in the water just to get my mind off things, like always. Anyway, let's get started on the story. So get something to drink. Just sit back, relax, and please click like, share, and subscribe to Ghosting with Anya. So let's get started on the story. This is still season 5, episode 171. The Girl in the Projection Booth. Leah took the volunteer job at the Majestic Theater because old movie houses felt like time arranged into architecture. The Majestic had been restored just enough to survive red velvet seats, a faded marquee gold trim that looked best under low light, and a projection booth still kept intact even though most screenings now ran digitally from equipment downstairs. Leah loved locking up after classic film nights when the audience had gone home, and the lobby still smelled faintly of popcorn dust and old upholstery worn by bodies now absent. The building never felt empty exactly, it felt paused. That was part of its charm until the projection booth door, which nobody used, began standing open after every late screening. Leah closed it. It opened again the next week. On the third occurrence, she found a chair pulled up to the booth window as if someone very small had needed help reaching the glass. Wow. The Majestic Theater. I've been there, guys. I've been to one of these theaters, and I did not have any experience with something that's very small, like a child was reaching for a glass. Maybe a glass of water or something like that. I don't really know. So, anyway, I hope you guys are ready for it. So, all you have to do is leave me comments down below. If you guys ever been to a movie theater that kind of look like the one I've been to, there is called Marcus Theater, which is by the Twin Creek. Sometimes I've gone to the Majestic movie theater. Well, that's probably in Council Bluffs or whatever, but yes, A&B movie theater. I've seen that one. Well, like B&B or whatever. But I've been to a lot of movie theaters, especially in my hometown. It's called the Golden Ticket movie theater. It's a really good movie theater, but there's one theater that's already been shut down. Cinema 8 movie theater. The business went back down because no one else wanted to go back there ever again, so the business was done. They closed that theater forever, so we only have one movie theater back home. I'm from Kearney, Nebraska, and Kearney Cinema 8 was the best movie theater I've always gone to for years until the business was shut down because No one gives a damn about it anymore. And it's also because of the COVID back in 2020. It literally got a lot of businesses shut down just because of it. So there's only one movie theater that's still playing. It's called the Golden Ticket. Look it up on Google of Kearney, Nebraska, the Golden Ticket. It's the Golden Ticket at the Kearney, Nebraska Hilltop Mall. Hilltop Mall is only one mall that we have back home. And there's only one movie theater, and I haven't been back there in a while. So, but yeah. But Majestic movie theaters, I've been to Majestic movie theaters. Have you ever been to Majestic movie theater?
Nope.
I'm sure we have one around here.
Probably.
I've been to one.
Mm-hmm.
With my mom.
Cool.
Probably. But yes, it was like maybe a few years ago. So anyway, I hope that you have gone to the movies, and it's the best thing to see. Whatever movie you have seen, have you guys ever felt any paranormal experience down there? Let me know in the comments if you have. So anyway, let's continue on the story. It's really an amazing story, but I hope you guys are brave enough to let me know what you guys think. And let me know what movies are you seeing. You can leave me a comment down below right here, and it'll just get me excitement. I'm always thirsty. I can't help it. I drink a lot of tea, soda, water. I drink water. Also, I take meds with it. So, anyway, let's continue on. She asked around casually and got the kind of shrugs people in old buildings perfect. Maybe a volunteer forgot. Maybe the hinges were warped. Maybe the door never latched properly. But the old projectionist, Mr. Hale, went still. When she mentioned the child-sized chair, he asked whether the chair had been set facing the screen or the projector. When Leah said the screen, he looked away toward the dark auditorium and admitted there had once been a little girl who came to Saturday matinees with her father in the years before the war. Her name, he thought, had been Vera or Vida, something soft. The story stayed blurred in public memory, except for one detail during a fire panic sparked by a short in the booth. The father went back in to help and told the girl to wait in the aisle where he could see her. In the confusion, she climbed the booth stairs instead, believing she'd find him there quicker. No one knew exactly how she died, smoke fall, shock. Only that after that staff sometimes heard a child running toward the booth after the last reel. Leah should have left the story alone, but old theaters encourage curiosity the way quiet churches encourage whispering. One rainy Thursday after a revival screening, she stayed behind to help gather programs while everyone else drifted out. At 11:37 p.m., long after the film had ended, she heard laughter from the upper hallway. A child's quick, delighted burst cut short the moment she stepped beneath the projection booth stairs. The booth door stood open. Inside, moonlight from the alley mixed with the weak amber bulb over the old projector. And there, on the floor beneath the port window, lay a paper ticket stub, fresh enough not to belong to dust and old reels. Leah picked it up. The date printed on it was from 1939. As she turned it over, a small handprint bloomed in the dust on the glass, looking out over the dark auditorium, as if a child had pressed both palms there to see better. 1939. Come on, you guys. That year actually reminds me of my grandparents. My mom's parents actually were born in 1939, like late 30s to early 40s. Isn't that coincidence? I think so. This story has nothing to do with my grandparents, but this child somehow passed away in 1939 at the movie theater called the Majestic Theater. So, I'm guessing that this story reminds me of my mom and my mom's parents, my grandparents. They actually were born in 1939. Don't know what day of the month, maybe the day of the week. All I know is that my grandparents were born in the same year. So they known each other all their lives, but they passed away 20 years apart. My grandpa died in 1977 at age 37 because I was 37 years old months ago. I'm 38 now. Older than my granddad, obviously. And my grandma, she died when I was only a toddler. I was about 2 years old. I never had a chance to meet my grandparents. So, but this story is very tragic. This child died somehow in the fire of the old Majestic movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
A father was trying to help his child. I think she was about 7 or 8. It was like before the war came out.
Cool.
And somehow everyone was like, I don't know, screaming, running for their lives just because the fire started. And the father thought his daughter found a safe place, maybe hidden somewhere. So when he tried to find his daughter, apparently he couldn't find her, so she died somehow. Maybe she died from a fire, and the father somehow passed away of a broken heart, maybe, just because his daughter ran off somewhere and then ended up dead in a fire. I think it was the child from 1930s. I pretty much, if I went back in time in 1939, and I would probably actually witness it, perhaps. I would probably want to time travel and go back into 1939. Maybe I could meet my grandparents who were born in 1930s. Not early 30s, but late 30s. 1939. This is so strange. I feel like I'm connected somehow, but well, I'm connected to my grandparents, so I never had a chance to meet them, but I wish I have. And I'm guessing that my grandparents are watching over me from heaven, that I'm talking about them. They're probably listening every word I'm saying about them. So they're probably they probably know that I know they were born in 1930s. So I would love to go back in time and meet my grandparents, especially in like maybe when they were adults or something like that, or teenagers or whatever. I mean, they're from 1930s. So if I go back in time in like 1950s or whatever, when they were still young at that time, or 60s, I would definitely want to meet them. Well, my mom's parents. So, anyway, this story goes back to the year 1939 when the Majestic movie theater was built. Well, actually, it was built sometime, I don't know, in 1920s or early 1900s or 1800s. I don't know what year, but the exact. But there's a tragic story to that building. A child was killed by the fire, perhaps. That is so tragic and sad. So anyway, let's continue on the story, and I will have to figure out who this little girl was. I mean, her name was probably Vera. You know what? That also reminds me, my grandmother's name was Vera, and my grandfather's name was Peter. This story almost related to me, almost related to my late grandparents. How coincidence is that?
Very.
This child's name was Vera. It also reminds me of my grandma. My grandma's been dead since I was 2, so this could actually goes back to my history, I guess, of my mom's parents. Who am I kidding? I wasn't there when they died. I wasn't there when they were born. So, anyway, let's continue on the story. The next night, she brought her phone, a flashlight, and more skepticism than fear. The theater was running a private rental, and Leah lingered upstairs after cleanup while Mr. Hale tallied receipts. When the audience laughter from below finally faded and the lobby doors locked, the Majestic entered its after-hours silence. Then from the screen side of the booth came the soft thump of feet hitting the narrow stair one at a time. Leah stayed still. A little girl appeared at the doorway in the reflection of the dusty projector lens before she became visible in the room itself. She wore a pale cardigan, ankle socks, and a ribbon in her hair, all wrong for the present, and entirely ordinary for another era. She did not look ghostly at first glance, only impatient, as children become when adults keep promising to come right back. Is he still downstairs? She asked. Leah's first instinct was to answer carefully, but children ask in ways that bypass preparation. Your father? She said. The girl nodded and went to the window, standing on tiptoe to peer out into the empty theater. He said if the picture stopped, I should stay where I was. She said, but it stopped all over. Leah felt cold gather across her shoulders. She looked down toward the stage, and for one impossible moment, the dark auditorium below flashed into another time. Hats in seats, men shouting, a scatter of people moving too fast toward aisles, and smoke unrolling along the ceiling above the screen. Then the vision vanished, leaving only empty rows and the old hush of a closed theater. The girl never took her eyes off the house below. He can't see me from here, she whispered. Apparently, that a young child's father thought this little girl somehow thought that she would be okay. I thought she might still be alive or be in a lobby where her father would see her. Apparently, that never happened. So the child wandered off, thought maybe she was in the projection room waiting for her dad, but her dad somehow couldn't find her. So he panicked, trying to figure out how to find his daughter and take her home so she would be safe. I'm guessing Leah time traveled somehow, or the projection somehow showed her the truth. Maybe she did time travel and saw what really happened in 1939 before she was even born. That's like decades or like almost 100 years ago. That was before Leah was even born. Even me, I wasn't born in 1939. I was still a ghost. Hey, I've been dead for 10,000 years and here I am alive again. Soon, one day in the future, I'm probably going to become a ghost again anyway. So, in 1939, there was a huge fire. I didn't have time to research all this story. The girl in the projection booth. So, like, literally. But I pretty much was just relaxing, doing some knitting, watching TV, and just, keeping my eyes towards my cat. I had to make sure my cat was taken care of. So I had to make sure she didn't go outside because if I let her go outside, she would be running away. And I would not forgive myself for what Tally did. So my little cat named Tally. Anyway, I hope that this may have broken your heart when a little girl named Vera somehow passed away from a fire. We don't know how old she was. Apparently, maybe she was about 7 or 8 years old. My grandma, yeah, she was 50 years old when she passed. I was only 2 years old because when my mom was in her 20s, like 21 years old, my grandma was like 48 when I was born. So by the time I was 2, my grandma was 50. And she just died unexpectedly from asthma problems. So I think that maybe spirits are there for a reason, especially with this little girl named Vera, or Vera, whatever, because that name reminds me of my own grandmother. My grandma she never gone to my grams never got a chance to grow old with my grandpa. So I would probably wish that she would have survived both of them. And I would have met them in person even when I'm an adult. And I am an adult. I'm like my late 30s to early 40s. My husband here is an adult. He's like in his early 30s. So, anyway, I wish I could go back in time and find out what really happened. How can I prevent the fire to come through and take everyone's lives inside the Majestic Theater? If I had the knowledge, if I had my powers, I would definitely travel through time and help from that happening. Prevent the death of a young girl, perhaps, maybe, yeah. Anyway, let's continue on the story while my husband gets the phone. Perhaps whoever's calling, if tell Mark Curtis, just ignore it.
I'll be in the other room.
Is it your mom?
I think so.
Tell her I said hi.
Okay.
All right, cool. It's probably just my mother-in-law. So anyway, let's continue on the story. Leah told Mr. Hale everything. To her surprise, he did not ask whether she was sure. Instead, he unlocked an old metal cabinet beneath the concession counter and pulled out a folder of newspaper clippings.
Taking out the office trash.
All right, sounds good.
Love you.
Love you too. Theater programs and handwritten notes collected by generations of staff who preferred memory over facial history. There it was, Vera Mullins, age 7, listed among those lost after the projection room short sparked panic. Her father, a volunteer usher, also died but was found near the aisle where he had last been seen directing people out. Different parts of the room held different endings. Mr. Hale said quietly, maybe she never knew he was looking the other direction. He suggested a memorial plaque, but Leah felt that would be too adult to polish. What Vera seemed trapped in was not anonymity, it was position. The following Saturday, before the children's matinee, Leah and Mr. Hale reserved 2 center aisle seats and tied a pale ribbon to one armrest where the booth window could see it clearly. Then Mr. Hale climbed to the projection booth and left the door open as the house lights dimmed. For the first cartoon, Leah stayed upstairs, while families below settled into popcorn and chatter. The air in the booth shifted. Vera appeared beside the port window, then looked down toward the ribbon-marked seat where, in the dimming house, Mr. Hale had placed one old usher's flashlight upright, as if someone had just left it there and would return any second. Vera stared for a long time. Then she smiled, not brightly, but with the small certainty of recognition. He said, "Stay where I was." She murmured, "That's where." She stepped back from the glass, and when the first reel flickered on the screen, the little chair in the booth rocked once and fell still. Since then, the projection booth door at the Majestic still opens on rainy anniversary nights, but the child-sized chair is never pulled to the window anymore. Leah likes Leah likes that it means the theater may still remember Vera without forcing her to keep searching from the wrong place. On quiet closing nights, if Leah lingers too long upstairs, she sometimes hears a seat spring settle once in the center aisle, and then nothing more. The Majestic, like all old theaters, remains a machine built to replay, but some replays, she learned, can be nudged toward mercy if someone figures out where a child was last told to wait. Wow. This is a tragedy of a little kid. She wanted to be recognized. She wanted to be remembered. She wanted to see her father. She wanted to see if her dad could find her. Apparently, he never found her. So, apparently, Vera was 7 years old. And I knew that because somehow these images always come to me. So, how do you guys feel that this little girl was killed by fire, waiting for her father to come and find her? Apparently, he never did, so he found something else, I guess. He couldn't even get to his daughter. Apparently, he collapsed and died. So, the fire took his life. It took her life too, but they never reunited until something has happened. Like, until Leah finally recognized her and got the story, and Leah and Mr. Hale decided to give her the ribbon. Perhaps maybe she found her way to find her dad. I hope that Leah would, I don't know, kept working at the movie theater and sometimes maybe seeing a spirit of Vera and her father. Perhaps maybe Vera and her dad somehow maybe finally reunited with each other. I hope so. Because it reminds me of my own granddad. Or it reminds me of my grandmother's name, Vera. And it actually is my grandmother's name, Vera. And my grandfather's name was Peter. So I wish that I could have gone back in time and see them, what they used to look like, how they sounded, how beautiful they were when they were alive. And if they recognized me, they would have been happy to see me how I've grown up to be and how I turned out, how my mother turned out when they both lost their own lives. So they would have told me everything. If they were alive, they would have told me stories, and they would have, watched me all grown up or whatever. If I went back in time and saw my grandma and grandpa, I would be very happy. I would want to stay with my grandma and my grandpa. But I don't want to mess with the timeline. Like, change the future, maybe. Perhaps. I wish I could, but I can't. I don't have the power for it. Oh. Anyway, since the story's finally done, let's get to the stories. Let's get to the questions. If you have any questions, you guys, you're more than welcome to leave me comments down below. If you have any, just let me know. So let's get started on the questions. Fearless, I hope you're watching this, and you're always welcome to join me right here on live stream. So anyway, let's get started. Would you have gone into the projection booth after finding the chair moved? Of course I would, yes. I would definitely want to investigate the haunted booth or haunted majestic movie theater, and I would definitely would like to. Now it's your turn to let me know. Would you ever go into the projection booth after finding the chair that has moved? Would you guys ever do that? Let me know in the comments if you would. So I would definitely want to investigate the actual place and get some answers that people are looking for. Perhaps I would definitely want to help a 7-year-old and her dad to reunite with each other, even in heaven, like in the afterlife. I would definitely give her something, like an offering maybe, and the child would finally get the recognition. I would notice that. Would you guys ever notice that an actual chair moving by itself, even though you can't see anything except for the chair moving? Would you guys ever recognize anything like that? Would you ever get articles, like newspaper clippings, and see who was in the newspaper and the name of a little girl or the dad? So anyway, would you ever give an offering to a child to help her find her way out, find her dad so they can reunite with each other? I probably would. Like a toy, a ribbon, a ticket maybe, or whatever this child wants. Anyway, let's go to number 2. What do you think trapped Vera there for so long? I'm thinking fire, or like a time loop. It's a memory, actually. My guess is some kind of memory, like the last moment this little girl was alive before she was trapped was the movie that she saw with her father in 1939. Maybe the cartoon movie, whatever she saw with her father was before she died. With some kind of movie that she was sitting at, I don't know, some small child-size chair or whatever. But I think it was a movie. Whatever trapped her was somehow a memory. So she's reliving the night she died, apparently, in 1939. She was waiting for her father, but he never came to claim her. It's because he passed out in the lobby looking for her, but apparently he failed. So he died. And she also died, but they got separated. She was looking for her father too. So the fire kept her apart from her dad. It's just so sad, you guys. I would probably try and figure out a way to release her, is to tell her the truth. No wonder why. All the lies that's been going around, probably, or the story was lying about what happened to her and her dad. So, as you all know, guys, I grew up without my real dad. So, I wish I could have met my real dad when I was a child, but my real father never had a chance to reunite with me, so I had to grow up without him. But at least my stepdad was there to raise me like I was his own child, so I would like to thank my stepfather, Sergey M., for being there for me no matter what. So, would you guys ever find a way to help this little girl spirit reunite with her father? Let me know in the comments if you actually would do that. I probably would. Anyway, let's go to number 3. Why old theaters such powerful settings for ghost stories? Well, that's a good question, you guys. The reason why it's so powerful is because of the emotions and the memories. I probably would want to go back in time and try to prevent that from happening. I mean, like the tragedy, I would try and help the father and the daughter find a way out. Maybe trying to convince them to go outside before the fire even started. Like literally. And everything would have been fine. If I helped them find a way out, they would still be alive today. Literally. But apparently, the father and the daughter lost their lives. And they were separated, even in death. So, I probably would have. The reason why it's powerful is because all the memories and the history, all a part of the emotions. Everyone has stories and all the memories. We all have got them. We just don't like to talk about them that much. It's a ghost story because it's the past and it keeps coming back. People don't like to talk about it because it scares them to death. This is why they don't talk about it. But they should. It's the only way to release these trapped souls, a father and a daughter. To find peace is to talk about it and give them the final, like the actual truth. I probably would do that. All right, let's go to number 4. We're almost done here anyway. We are in 49 minutes. What was more unsettling, the handprint, the old ticket stub, or Vera's question? That's a good one too. I think it was the handprint. Like if I saw the spirit, like say looking at you, standing right where you are standing, and I think maybe somehow this little girl thought she might still be alive, but she was reliving her final moments before she died. The handprint, I think she just wanted to see if her father could if probably could see her maybe where she was, like through the glass. Apparently, the father didn't, and that's very sad. So I think it's the handprint. Do you think that what was more unsettling for you, Chris? The handprint, the old ticket stub, or Vera's question?
The old ticket stub.
Like from 1930s?
I think so.
Okay then. Um, from my husband, I think it was the ticket stub from 1939. And that's where it was probably, but that is a great answer probably. I think it was the handprint or the reflection of a child's spirit, like outline, see-through ghost or whatever. Or a question, perhaps. Maybe she thought that her father would come look for her in the auditorium somewhere at their projection booth. Apparently, he did not. So he lost consciousness. He passed away. So did the child. They both vanished from a fire. And that's very sad. I would probably try and figure out how to help them move on. All right, we have 5 questions left before I sign off. I gotta get ready for tomorrow because, well, I pretty much gonna finish reading my book. I need to finish reading my book. My husband's probably gonna take a bath. I'll probably read, or I'm probably just gonna watch my shows, or probably just watch some more YouTube videos, or whatever I'm gonna do. Play games or something. But anyway, we're almost done here. Let's go to number 5. Was Leah right to recreate the aisle seat instead of doing something more formal? I think she was right about it. Yes. If Leah didn't notice the spirit of a little girl named Vera, she probably would still be skeptical. She would not know what's going on. She would be freaking out more, but she would not know. She would probably just do something formal, I guess. But I think she did the right thing. Recreate the 1930s formal thing or whatever, like the child-sized chair. She decided to put a ribbon in the armrest of a child's size chair to let the little spirit girl know that it's okay to go somewhere. It's okay to find her father, and it's okay to go into the light. There's nothing gonna hurt you there. It's a warm light, love, and her dad might be there. I think Leah did the right thing. So let me know in the comments if you think Leah did the right thing. So let's go to number 6. Do you think Vera needed her father or just the right place to see? I think so. I think it was just the right place to see, not just her father. She wanted her dad to find her, but he never did. He thought maybe she ran out somewhere safe, but she was still inside the movie theater and lost her life. So she needed the right place to see. I think it did happen, but yes. What do you think? Do you think Vera needed her father or just the right place to see?
Right place to see and her father.
I agree. It's definitely her dad. Her dad passed away right there in the Majestic movie theater lobby. I mean, he fell down somehow. He was like, he lost conscience. consciousness and just died right where the fire was.
Mm.
So I think she wanted her father and just the right place to see. Okay, let's go to number 7. Why do child hauntings often center on instructions they followed too well? Wow, that's a great question. That is very good question, you guys. A child haunting is like a child has no idea that they're still as earthbound. They don't know that they're dead. They think they might still be alive, but they don't realize that they're no longer in their bodies. Their bodies are gone, but their souls are still trapped somewhere where they died. The center of instructions are like waiting to see what was going to happen the next or something. Maybe instructions or whatever, like say someone's gonna tell this young spirit where to go, what to do, I guess. So this spirit might be following the light. Perhaps, maybe. This little girl, Vera, finally got what she wanted. So she went into the light and she reunited with her father, hopefully by now. And everything went back the way it was before. So before Leah noticed this spirit child. And I think that maybe spirits are still around. We just don't see them. Perhaps maybe Leah was chosen for this. And I think maybe Leah might still be seeing a spirit of a 7-year-old Vera and her dad. Hopefully, maybe this little girl is reunited with her dad. Perhaps, maybe. So, anyway, all right, let's go to number 8. We're nearly done. Would you keep volunteering at the Majestic after this?
Yes.
Of course we would. And you can see my husband right there. He's just right behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Should be right next to me.
I'm right here.
Okay.
I'm always here for you.
Good. You can always sit right next to me, besides right behind me.
True.
I think maybe, yes, we definitely would. If I went to that Majestic movie theater, if I ever lived somewhere, I would definitely go to that movie theater and literally keep volunteering. If I ever had a job at the Majestic movie theater. But I don't. I literally just go to the movies. I would just go to movie theater and buy a ticket and watch whatever the screen on, whatever the movie comes in. Like, just depends. I would definitely go see something. I would want to remember this little girl. No matter what happened, I would always remember her the way she was before she passed. All right, let's go to number 9. All right, we have 2 questions before I sign off. We're almost up to 1 hour, which means it's 9:34. Wow, that's a good record. Anyway, can memory in a building be redirected rather than erased? Yes, it can. As long as we don't forget what the building holds, we would remember everything. So, these buildings have so much memories and a lot of history, what it went through. I would probably want to remember. I would investigate this old Victorian place or any other place that can hold anything, all the memories, all the happy stuff, or like any dramatic, violent, weird memory shit that's been going on for centuries. I would remember what it used to be happy, delightful. It would remember a lot of humans going in and out of the place, of the building. This building can hold a lot of memories because it knows a lot of people. It's like it has a mind of its own. I would probably want to remember everything. So, my answer is yes, you guys. Yes. All right, guys, we are in 1 hour and 1 minute. We got last question before I sign off. This is the longest video I've ever done. Usually my videos go on a bit short, but I want to see if it goes even longer than that. So once I get off work, this is part of the job that I do. Once I get off this podcast, I am going to get my face cleaned up maybe and take some medication. Also, put some lotion on my skin because my skin is so dry, and get ready for bed or something, or continue knitting or whatever I'm gonna do. Refill my bottle, of course. All right, let's go to number 10. If a ghost was waiting in the wrong place, how would you help it relocate? That's a good one, you guys. Well, I probably would tell the spirit that there's nothing left for them. I can help them find the light. I would tell them the truth about what happened. And they would probably maybe show me what happened, and I could help them find the light. I would get the articles, tell the living what happened, and I would tell them where to go, like into the light, so they can reunite with their loved ones who died years before them. So that's how I would help the spirits. Anyway, okay, guys, we are out of time, and it's been an hour and 3 minutes. I just want to say thank you, guys, and thanks for watching and listening. I hope you guys have been participating on this. Tomorrow we'll be doing episode 172, and the story that we will be doing is called The House Sitter at Cedar Point. This is the new story, and I hope you guys are ready for that story. I will be ready by tomorrow, like always. So, we will be going on live streaming tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. So, instead of 8 o'clock sharp. So, it's going to be 8:30 p.m. tomorrow night until 9 p.m. or like around 9:30 something. Again, thank you guys, and have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful Father's Day, and we'll see you all tomorrow night at 8:30 on Ghosting with Anya. And stay safe, guys. May God bless you. May God bless all the fathers out there. Stay safe and stay spooky and have fun. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night at Ghosting with Anya live stream on episode 172, The House Sitter at Cedar point. Thank you guys, and good night. Bye.